Hello and happy Tuesday. This is our final live stream of 2023. Can you believe it? I know I can't. So, as you arrive, do say hello. I'm going to test out a new StreamYard giveaway tool because while you're watching this on YouTube, I stream it from StreamYard, and somebody on my team alerted me to this giveaway tool that allows you to automatically put everybody that comments into a draw. And then you can also, if you comment hashtag no boring books, we can do a separate draw for anybody that does the hashtag no boring books. And so I'm going to test out this giveaway tool today. So if you're here and you haven't already said hello, do that. And you can also throw in a hashtag no boring books, and we'll be using that. If you're watching the replay, you can always comment at any point. You just won't be part of this new StreamYard giveaway tool that we're going to test out today. So hello, Renee. Hello, Professor EA, Burlingame, Efren. Great to have you all here. It definitely our regular crew is in the house. All right, so today we're talking, it's kind of a 2023 wrap up. So I wrote down some of the big trends. I went through the YouTube channel and highlighted some of the top videos, which Angela, I'm sorry, I forgot to give you the links. So you'll be frantically seeking links out. But this will be a slightly shorter live stream today because I do have an in-person meeting that I have to get to. So I'll be wrapping up at about 20 minutes to the hour. So still plenty of time for us all to hang out. But yeah, so I'm going to dive right in and just kind of give you guys a list of some of the big things that happen in book publishing, self-publishing mostly in particular, but just some of the highlights. And then I'm going to dive into some just cool analytics from booklaunchers.tv, tell you which videos you watch, where you guys are watching from, and if you have any other questions about the channel, because I never really talk about the analytics behind the channel and the videos that you like the most, and that non-subscribers are watching versus the subscribers and all that fun stuff. So I thought as a 2023 wrap up, we would just do a smorgasbord of things here today. So first of all, the number one thing that I think 2023 it brought us is AI. It also brought us, the class action suits from the Authors Guild and, lots of uncertainty and questions, but also lots of opportunity. And so AI to me is probably the big headline for 2023 for book publishing, book marketing, all those things. And it's here to stay. And like it or not, that is, I believe, a fact, right? It is here and it is here to stay, and you don't have to use it, but there are tremendous opportunities for those who do embrace it and use it. So that to me, if I was to pick, what's the big headline of 2023? That's the headline. But also I think 2023 really saw a rise in Amazon issues, Amazon termination, account terminations, Amazon issues as far as having things rejected. And we're dealing with so many surprises. Even just today, we were talking about some A+ content that we submitted that got rejected, and we're reading the rejection reason and looking at the A+ content and not understanding, legitimately going, did a human look at this? Because it's not the things it's saying you shouldn't have. So it's been really interesting because we've had a lot of those kind of rejections and hangups this year that, there's always surprises. Every year there's surprises, but it's just been in a great number. And correspondingly, it shouldn't surprise you knowing that, we're encountering these issues, that a lot of other people are too. And my number one viewed video this year, and I'm just going to open up the screen and tell you the exact number if I can. Hold on. Let's see if this is the right screen. Nope, that's not it. But the number one video, because I've lost the screen that had it. Oh, here it is. The number one video you watched this year was how to avoid publishing your book on Amazon as an author. There was 324,000, I believe. Let me just read this here. oh no, 324 hours. Not quite certain, but that's still a lot. There's 324 hours of watch time on that single video with more than 18,000 people watching that video. And it's a fairly new one. It just came out a few months ago. And so it has a huge number of people watching that video. The next one is one of the original from the channel, which is 5 things to do once your book is on Amazon. I don't know how many views that video has now, but it's a lot. But in 2023, that one actually had 1,000 hours of watch time. And 18,000 views. So a few less views, but even more watch time. And then the next one was 5 tips to record your audiobook at home, which segues really nicely into the next thing, I wanted to talk about as far as a headline this year, which is all things audiobook. And so I think that, and so Angela's frantically posting the links in there for those videos that I just mentioned, the top 3 videos that you guys watched on the channel this year. And so tying into the fact that Amazon has had a lot of drama this year, audiobooks have also been making headlines. And this has been for a variety of reasons, but one of the ones that I've talked about quite a few times here is that Spotify bought Findaway Voices. And so now it's Findaway Voices by Spotify. And this gives us a competitor to Audible. And now with the rollout of premium subscribers in the US and other countries now being able to listen to up to 15 hours of audiobook content included with their monthly subscription fee, this is increasing our discoverability as an author on their platform and giving a good competitor to Audible, which is good for all of us. So that's been big. We've also seen, people are busier than ever. Again, we are fully out and about. And what we are seeing is that audiobook content is prevailing in some categories for some authors. And so a book that you would otherwise not read, you are listening to. And that means if you don't have an audiobook, you are missing out. And, Efren's here. I've told him repeatedly, I am never going to have the time to sit down and read your fantastic book from start to finish. However, I could consume it if he put it in an audiobook format, which I know he's planning to do. But, he's got a big, juicy book full of great stories and great information. And I would love to consume it all, but I just don't have the time to sit down and read a gigantic book that is not specific to what I am doing. But I would listen to it. It would take me a while because I only have a 12-minute commute each day to and from my home. But, I do listen to audiobooks when I'm doing things around the house if my son's not there. So driving, sometimes if I'm walking the dogs and it's just me, I'll listen. And I know I'm not alone in that. And we've seen some books in some categories, be as much as 40 or 50% of their sales are in audiobook version. But also in that whole category is that synthetic voice, which we talked a lot about on the weekend in our holiday extravaganza deep dive. But we've also talked about my Friday video that came out was all about the different opportunities now for using a robotic voice, synthetic voice, digital narration, whatever you want to call it, to narrate your audiobook. That is coming on. And I think in 2024, this is going to be this recap next year, we will all be able to have I suspect our voice cloned, but the options, if not our voice cloning, the options are going to be plenty for how we can have voice narration or digital voice narration or synthetic voice for our audiobooks, because that's already there in some platforms with limited options. So I think that's going to be fully there by this time next year. So lots and lots of excitement. And Angela is frantically posting. She's a rock star. If you've ever been on one of these lives when I don't have her, you know how much I rely on her for this. All right. And so those are those highlights. And I'm just checking in to see. So Cassie's coming in from San Jose. Hello. We've got Bill from Bristol, Connecticut. Professor E.A. Burlingame says humans aren't looking, they're using AI and not following up on it with a human, which is what they need to do. Yeah. So that's in reference to the AI content, or AI. That's in reference to the A+ content that I was mentioning that got rejected. with no discernible reason. Like our whole, the person who got the rejection, she posted it and she posted it with the explanation. And she goes, does anybody see any, like, does this actually make sense to you? And it doesn't. Kevin just joined from Rochester, New York. Hello, Dave from Delaware. Welcome, welcome. Dabby Dawson's in the house. Richard is here as well. And Marcia's no burning books. Yes, absolutely. No burning books. But our hashtag that we were talking about earlier was hashtag no boring books. We are going to, if you haven't already said hello, make sure you do. I've got a cool new, well, it's not new to anyone else, it's just new to me, a giveaway tool on StreamYard. So Angela will potentially have one less job to do because I will it supposedly randomly chooses one of you from the comments. So do comment and say hello. We have a quieter live stream today. I am sure everybody is just busy getting ready for the holiday season. I know my team is working at breakneck pace right now because we close for the week between Christmas and New Year's, but that doesn't mean we don't have to do the work. So it's a blessing and a curse, I guess, if you want to call it that, because my team gets the whole week off and they are not allowed to check email. However, we still have a month worth of work to do. So they all work extra hard the week leading up to, well, the whole month of December, but this week in particular, just making sure all the books are moving where they need to move. Okay. So back to that, I talked about Spotify buying Findaway Voices and coming on with the premium content, the digital voice. Those are some of the other big trends that I saw this year that I think are, big for self-publishing authors in particular, but for all authors and in book publishing. BookTok has also been big this year. So even though a lot of sales, book sales, print sales in particular, receded kind of pre-pandemic levels, fiction really held steady, particular to BookTok. So where authors were active on TikTok, a lot of them saw success with promoting their book there. And it kept that younger reader base engaged and buying books and, I assume also reading books. So this was not a trend that I talked about much, partly because I don't use TikTok at all, but also because this trend really applied to fiction. And while there are some stories and some cases where some nonfiction authors have had success with BookTok on TikTok, really this has been primarily for fiction authors. So I haven't talked about it a lot, but it definitely has been a trend. And it has been something where somebody who masters it and uses it has seen results, and it has sold books in sometimes large volumes. It is also something that international publishers are looking for. And, this is a conversation actually coming up in January on booklaunchers.tv. We have one of the representatives from the international agents that we work with and that we present our clients' books to. She'll be doing a live stream here to help you guys understand all the things that international publishers are looking for and share a little bit about their marketplace as well, because that is open to anyone to join their marketplace. Their representation is not open to everyone. We pitch for our clients, we pitch our clients to them, and they go through it and will choose who gets represented. And typically those that will get represented for these international deals, they have some sort of a following. So they have, like in this case, TikTok was one of the things that the international publishers are looking for, but they'll look at LinkedIn or a YouTube channel or, some sort of a social media following is one of the criteria that a lot of them are looking for. One of our authors is seeing some really exciting momentum in the international market, and has already gotten his first offer is coming in right now. And there's also, I think, 3 other publishers that have already expressed interest. They just haven't put an offer down. So that's exciting news to have that kind of momentum behind a book in the international markets. But BookTok was definitely a trend of this year. Also, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the different books that, made headlines this year, but I feel I should mention, because they are nonfiction, not self-published, but this year was kind of bookended by 2 big, massive memoirs that sold, I believe, many millions of copies, if not more than 1 million, at least in their launches, which was Prince Harry's book, Spare. Is that what it's called? I think it was called Spare. And Britney Spears' book, why did the titles just blanked on me? I think hers was The Woman in Me. Sorry, they totally blanked. And I haven't read them, don't plan on reading them. But I know a lot of people who have. And actually, side note, and this is definitely a tangent, but I read a lot of the Reddit threads and comments and reviews. And the one thing about the Britney Spears memoir that I thought was interesting and is worth noting is that the narrator. So a lot of people commented on how the writing was, it was so. The memoir was okay, but a lot of people really loved the audiobook because they said the narrator made that book. And so this is one area where a lot of people, we're talking about AI, and I feel I've mentioned this to some people in the comments that have said, "Oh, I'm a voiceover actor, or I'm a narrator," and I just keep emphasizing the fact that if you are exceptional at your craft, and if you grow your own following, you will find success because your job is not going to go away. What's going to happen is AI is going to take the job of the mediocre down to the bottom. And those folks are not going to have this work anymore. But if you are great at what you do and you have a following, there's going to be opportunities for you. And what happens is you love the narrator that narrates Britney Spears' memoir. And you're like, man, I want to know what else this narrator has narrated. And you go follow that narrator. And so for a publisher or an author that has a bit of a budget, it makes sense to find those narrators that have a following, because you're going to be able to cross promote your book with that narrator. And that's not something AI is going to be able to do. So yeah, again, I said I warned you I was going on a little bit of a tangent, but I thought it was worth noting because these two memoirs bookended the year. It's tough if you were launching up against them, same weeks, same time frame, because there was a lot of headlines around those two books. But I did think, I love reading the Reddit and the reviews about these books. And that was one thing that really jumped out at me about Britney Spears' memoir. And I actually looked up who the ghostwriter was on her book. And I believe it was a journalist that actually hadn't ghostwritten very many books. So it wasn't super surprising to me that people found the writing kind of mediocre. It was more surprising that that person was chosen to write her memoir. But the narrator definitely was a popular choice. People loved the narrator and said that the narrator made up for any mediocre writing. So, all right, direct sales. I could not do a 2023 wrap-up video without talking about direct sales, because this is going to be, and it already was a trend in 2023. This was already a topic of conversation this year. However, I do believe this is where we are going as self-publishing authors. We're still going to use Amazon and these other platforms to publish our books for sure, because they reach readers that we will not be able to reach ourselves. And the opportunities and the technical capabilities for us to sell our books directly to our reader has never been better, and it's just getting better and better. And so I believe in 2024, you are going to see a lot more of this. And we are doing a lot of work behind the scenes at Book Launchers to be set up to support our clients in a lot of different ways to be able to sell their books directly. Because I do believe, there's a tremendous amount of opportunity to just be wide, right? So I'm not saying only sell your books direct, just like I never say only sell your books on Amazon. I am saying sell your books wherever you possibly can, so that you can get as much data, reach as many readers as you possibly can, and really, really be able to build a business around your book that you're excited about. So that is a big topic of conversation. And I do have plenty of videos coming out for you on this. I have one coming out next week on how you can sell your books direct with Ingram Spark now. They have a new beta program that's out, and it's simple to use. It's really easy to set up. There's trade-offs, and I don't want to spoil my whole video, so I'm not going to tell you all right now, but it will be. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, my goodness, make sure you are subscribed, because there's some great content on direct selling your books coming out. It's already edited, and it'll be hitting your feeds within the next 2 weeks. So all right, just see what you guys are talking about over here. And then I'm going to go test my fancy little StreamYard tool because I'm excited to see how this works. So cruising down the list here. Okay. Bill missed the deep dive. Was there a recording? No, Bill. I legitimately forgot. I remembered about 40 minutes into the deep dive that I hadn't hit record. And I messaged Angela and she's like, well, you could hit record now and it would just be a smaller file, but I really didn't want to have a partial recording. So I just said, forget it. It was exclusive for those who were here. And Dabby Dosen said, I thought your team was the Vegas Golden Knights. Well, yes, they are. However, I do have a fabulous team of folks who are on the book launchers team as well. They are, of course, you met some of them if you were on the deep dive. So we had Angela and Angela. We have Angela Jones and Angela Bell. And then we had Alyssa Gracer and Sarah Bean were all on the deep dive. And then there's another 10, I believe, also that work with us full time. And then we have, I think, 65 contractors. I don't know the exact number of how many contractors, because some are kind of on call versus many of them we work with on a very regular basis. But so we do have a good sized team. But as far as hockey teams go, yes, Golden Knights. My household cheers for the Golden Knights and the Vancouver Canucks. And if you follow hockey, you will know that both teams are leading the league right now. So this is pretty intense, to be cheering for two teams and have both of them at the top of the league. This is crazy. But I'm cheering for the Golden Knights more. Okay. Dave said, I've had good results with 11 Labs for sampling, synthesizing my voice. Yes, 11 Labs is the one that I have talked about that I cloned my voice with. And then I gave my 11 Labs account to my audiobook editor, and he used 11 Labs to do all my pickups. So I did not go back into the studio to re-record anything. All of the pickups for anything, any words I missed or mispronounced, those are all edited using 11 Labs. It took a bit. If anybody is playing with 11 Labs, the tip I can offer is that I had to record a messy one and a clean one. And what I mean by that is I recorded one as though I was recording a podcast with as though I was recording my audiobook with, so a measured pace, a really good quality recording. And then I recorded one as though I was talking to my friend. So really, or even talking to you in this live stream, how I'm more casual. It's not perfected. There's ums and ahs and, those kind of things. So I had to do two different recordings and put them together. And that ultimately created a pretty good replica of my voice inside of 11 Labs. Again, not good enough to record a whole audiobook. It doesn't do well with long sentences, but, recording a couple of words, you can't tell it's me or the robot. Professor E.A. Burlingame says, we nonfiction authors should take over BookTube. Yes, I'm here for that. Let's see. Never, I don't know. Yes, I will. I'm not sure. Efren might be talking about his audiobook. And Benny Bullock says, hello. And then Efren says, we humans are flawed, but synthetics will never replace us. No, I don't think so. Okay, so you guys ready for a little adventure? Let's see what happens when I use this StreamYard name picker. So bear with me one moment while I go over here. It looked easy in the tutorial And I don't know if you guys are going to see this. I wonder if I have to share this screen. It didn't say I had to share screen. Let's see. Okay. I won't share screen for this time, and then we'll do it again. You guys probably aren't seeing that. You guys didn't see that, did you? Okay. I'm going to share my screen this time so you can see it. So let's do this. So present, share screen, didn't see anything yet. Okay. So I'm learning. That's why I said you guys coming on an adventure with me, because it was a StreamYard thing, StreamYard, not a ScreenYard. There we go. Giveaway tool. Okay. So I am, hold on. Oh, it said it blocked my screen. How rude. How rude. Okay. We're going to draw again. Oh, it's okay. This one won't count. Whatever you guys see when it comes up, that doesn't count because I just pressed the button to make it work. So let's try this again. Share screen. Here we go. You guys excited? Giveaway tool. Where's the giveaway tool? Well, heck. Okay, here. There we go. Okay, it opened up the channel analytics, but we'll go into, hopefully it lets me switch. Let's see. Okay, so Richard, it drew you as a winner, but I'm afraid I'm going to draw again. But I just want to make sure you guys are seeing it. You guys are seeing it. Okay, perfect. Great, great, great. Now I'm going to hit the giveaway, the draw again, so you can watch it in action because this is cool. So everybody who's commented, you are getting entered to win. So here we go. Oh, this is fun. I like this. We don't have to do any random number counting anymore. Cassie, congratulations, Cassie. Look, it even gives you confetti. All right. So the next time we do this, it's going to be for everybody that has put in the hashtag no boring books, because that's the other tool. It allows me to choose something like a certain word. So in the future, we can have, everybody who names my book names one of my book titles, and then we can draw from those. But for today, it's going to be anybody who has commented with hashtag no boring books. Then you'll be entered to win on the next one. So that was pretty cool. I like that. That's neat. Okay. And so, yes, I'm celebrating this tool. And Cassie says, oh, I wonder how many times Angela will be a winner. Yeah, Angela comes up quite a few times. She will be automatically eliminated from it. But Cassie, please email team@booklaunchers.com. And if you're not familiar with how our prizes work, we have 4 prizes that are standard here. We have our hashtag no boring books. My blue blocker glass is not included. This is the vintage version. We have a new logo. Then we also have our Oh So Soft journal, also I believe different logo on the front now. And then, of course, if you don't already have it, we have Self-Promote and Succeed and Self-Publish and Succeed, my 2 books. Self-Publish and Succeed is the hashtag no boring books way to write a book that is set up to sell. And Self-Promote and Succeed is how you're going to market that beautiful book that you have written. So all of those are available if you are in the US. If you are outside of the US, you can choose from the 2 books and sometimes the journal, depending on where you're located. All right. And Professor E.A. Burlingame posted the book titles too, just in case. All right. So thank you. And what Dabby Dosen wants for Christmas. More videos about classy email accumulations, direct sales platform, website building, awards for self-published writers, and reviews. Okay. Thank you. Noted. And thank you. Okay. So I have a couple last things to share, and then we'll have about 10 minutes for comments and the final prizes. Of course, we also have our prizes for commenting the day videos come out, which I have in my random name picker. But the last couple things I wanted to note this year, I mentioned digital voice already. Oh, and then the last thing was basically that I launched Self-Promote and Succeed. And so that came out this year to help authors market the beautiful hashtag no boring books that they've written. And then a couple interesting things that I thought you might find interesting anyways from the YouTube channel is geography. So really quick. So we have from the United States, we have had 15,000 hours of view time with 284,000 videos watched. India was the second most popular country for viewing the videos, watching 32,000 different videos and watching 942 hours. United Kingdom, not being left behind in all of this, coming in with 1,318 hours of viewing time and 27,000 videos watched. And then Canada coming in fourth at 23,000 views and 1,354 hours of watch time. When you click on the United States, you can actually see some of the state breakdowns. California takes the cake here, my friends. Let me just see. You can probably even look at this if you are so curious. Let's just see. Share screen and sharing the analytics. Here you go. So it's kind of small. So I wasn't sure how much you really wanted to see this, but California is the top of the line here. Texas, Florida, New York, and Georgia are the other ones. So if you are in one of those states, thank you. You are helping increase our watch video time and views. All right. And then the last thing I thought was kind of interesting. So I told you the top 3 videos. And then the last piece, where is it here? The next 2. So I told you the top 3 earlier, which was how to avoid avoid publishing your book on Amazon, 5 things to do, which was number 2, which is an original video. That's old video. And then 5 tips to record your audiobook at home. And then another one, which is a fairly old one, coming in at 4th, which is how big will my book be? So just understanding, if you write a 30,000 word book versus a 120,000 word book. And I'm going to redo this one in 2024 using some of our author books, because when I did this one, I didn't have enough of our client books to draw from at this time, because I believe I filmed this in 2017 before we'd even launched any books, if I remember correctly. So now I can refilm it, and you better believe, Efren, yours will be in there as one of the larger books to compare to. Plus, it's just got a beautiful cover that I love showing off. If you've seen my recent videos, Efren's book is one of the books in the background. I'll be changing up the book covers to show off different people's books. But and then the last one, video 5, was self-publishing basics for the copyright page. I get a lot of copyright questions, so it's not surprising. But this is also a video from 2018, so I'm looking at redoing it in 2024 as well. I've got Dabby Dawson's requests. If you have requests, let me know. I'll be going into the studio the first week of January to shoot a bunch. So now's a good time to request them, because I will be able to get that into the queue for you. All right, let me draw the names for the folks that commented the day a video was released. And then if you haven't already, put your hashtag no boring books in there. I see Kevin just did it. And I'll be doing that draw last, and then doing the questions in between, because I have 8 minutes left. So here we go. Let me go over to my random name picker so you guys can see all. So Val on our team, she goes through and collects all your names for me. And then I put them in the random name picker. And so every Tuesday and Friday when a video comes out, you go ahead and post a comment, and you get entered to win. And where is my prize winner? Down below, probably. Here we go. So Fox Run EEC, if that is you, then you have won a copy of Self-Promote and Succeed, Self-Publish and Succeed, or a mug or a journal. You need to email Angela at team@booklaunchers.com. All prizes are going to be mailed out in the new year, because Angela is heading home for the holidays, and she won't be doing any more shipping until January, but she will get this off to you in early January if you email her your mailing address and your prize choice. All right, so let's do the other one while we're in here. And our final prize winner, it says loading the result. I might have to hit it again because you can't win twice in the same. Okay, it seems I'm going to hit it again. Down below, who's our new winner? Kent Harper 2222. So same thing for you. Email Angela at team@booklaunchers.com and let her know what your prize choice is. Okay. All right. So questions, Angela, do we have any questions? I will answer those, and then we'll do our final hashtag no boring books entry draw and wrap up our final live stream of the year. And then we'll be back here. I don't know, the first live of January. It might be the first Tuesday. Angela might be able to look while I am answering the first question. Okay, so Efren asks, what's the plan for those interested in utilizing the organization you are teaming up with for international translations and sales? So for Book Launchers clients, we already pitched. I don't know if we actually pitched you. We might have. I don't know who gets pitched and who doesn't, but we pitch a bunch of our clients for representation. And so the representation pitching, you may or may not get accepted into that. Right now, I know of 4 or 5 that have been accepted as representation, which simply means they act as your agent as they go to the Frankfurt Book Fair and all of these other places. Or if some of the international publishers that they work for are looking for a specific book, they're presenting your book to them. And if they get a deal, they take a percentage of the upfront fee that you get. They don't take a cut of the royalties, but they do help collect them. So they facilitate a lot of the work that happens, to get the deal done, but then to make sure that you are getting paid on these deals that they've helped execute. So they get paid through that initial upfront fee that you get paid when a publisher in another country wants to translate and publish your book there. For everyone else, we have the marketplace access. And so, Efren, you will be able to learn more from Sarah on that probably in January. We will be either putting you on the marketplace or you will be able to put yourself on the marketplace. And this will be available to all of you as well. So, anybody, whether you're a Book Launchers client or not, you'll be able to list yourself on the marketplace. We have a special deal with them. So, when we do the live stream with them in January, you will be able to get the link and be able to put yourself on the marketplace. The marketplace is somewhere that the publishers will shop and look at. It doesn't guarantee a deal and it doesn't mean you're represented by them. But if you get approached by a legitimate publisher in another country, at that point, you can let them know and they'll review it. And then it's likely they would, if it's legitimate and a good publisher that they potentially know of, they would potentially represent you to negotiate that. Or you can take it somewhere else and have somebody else represent you in that deal. So yeah, more details to come, but you can always, if you're talking to any, like Sarah, probably Sarah's the best person. If you're talking to her, she can give you a few more details on that. We have more meetings. It's not all of the things aren't sorted out yet. I actually have another meeting with them tomorrow. Is that the only question that we have so far? It does show that we have a YouTube live that first Tuesday back on January 2nd. All right, cool. I don't know what we'll be talking about then. Maybe just a kickoff for the year. It depends what happens over the holidays, but we'll be back here that January 2nd. April Cox's Authorpreneur Summit. What were your favorite takeaways? I didn't watch all of the sessions. So if somebody did watch all the sessions, I would love to know what the takeaways were. You can go ahead and post that while I do the final draw. Because I was also, while that summit was going on, I was at another event. Yeah, good times, right? You try to be in two places at once. Thankfully, it was a virtual summit, so I could be in two places at once. Let's see here. Share screen for the final giveaway. Here we go. All right, it's going to go back to my YouTube, but I can switch it over. Okay, so I need to get back to the original giveaway here. So let me see if I can open that again. Okay. Draw. So 7 says 7 entries. So only 7 people use the hashtag. So let's see who wins. Kevin! Congratulations, Kevin. You have won the hashtag No Boring Books part of the draw. So thank you for playing along. All right. So that's it. You guys were easy on me. I wish you all a fantastic holiday. And Kevin, by the way, you need to email team, TEAM at booklaunchers.com and let Angela know what prize you'd like. And when she gets back in January, she will take care of that. All right. Thank you all. I wish you all a happy holiday and happy new year. And I can't wait to see you all back here January 2nd. I think we'll do a goals session. Now that I'm thinking about it, let's declare our goals and intentions for 2024 when we get back on January 2nd. So hopefully see you all there, or here rather, on January 2nd to talk about your goals. And then our deep dive in January is all about writing your book in 2024, getting that book written. So Alyssa and Dan from the Book Launchers team will be hosting that deep dive, and they're going to help you get that book plan in place so you can get your book written in 2024. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you.